For some people, winning is addictive. Everybody's in sales. Product sales, vision sales, you're selling experiences, you're selling your services, but you're selling something. So you have to learn that piece of it.
It's okay to want to win. And I think sometimes people need that permission.
Right.
Because in society today, there's like, okay, just be average. It's okay to just get by.
You have to fall in love with competition. Competition is a form of collaboration because my best makes your best better.
Yes.
Your best makes my best better.
Welcome to the Takeover with Tim and Cindy, where we show you how to dominate every area of life and business. Let's get winning.
Welcome back to the Takeover. As you all know, the show is all about how do you dominate in all areas of life and business. And our guest today is no stranger to winning in life. I'm so excited to welcome international success strategist, global speaker, leader, and the #1 Mary Kay director in the world, Gloria Mayfield Banks. Welcome to the show.
I'm very excited about the show. I'm very excited about your audience, and I'm extremely excited about the topic of winning. I just think we never talk about it enough. So I'm excited to be here with you.
We have so much to chat about. I'm so excited. I know that when I talk to anybody on this concept of winning and domination and how do you succeed in life, a lot of it has to do with their story. Yes. I see very successful entrepreneurs. They have a journey, they have a story, and a lot of it is driven by their why. So Gloria, what is your story? How did we get to where we are today?
I agree with you 1,000%. I think there's nothing more memorable than a story, and there's nothing more unique than a person's story. Everybody's story is different. Well, my story is one where I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, and I grew up in a very fabulous middle-class home. And a lot of people have different stories, but I'm a story of very little drama growing up. My parents were strong, middle class income parents who worked hard to make sure that we had high self-esteem. I tell everybody, I think my mother and father just were so powerful in raising 4 girls, and all of us ended up being very successful entrepreneurs when there was no entrepreneurial role model in front of us. No aunts, uncles, none of that was happening. However, when I was in the 7th grade, they found out I was dyslexic. And it was at a time when, it's not where it is today where people can identify it and they know what to do with it and everything. Both my parents had been educated at one time. My mom was a teacher at the time. They missed it. They did not know what's going on. Although I knew something was going on, because let me tell you something. Nobody was better at getting out of school on test day than me. I was like, no, because tests were taken within a certain period of time, and I could never finish it in that time. So I became an expert at fooling a teacher, my mother, that I was sick every time there was a test, so I could take the test the next day and have as much time as possible. So that became really my story. So anyway, I kept going and worked really hard in high school. It was just a challenge. You can imagine a challenge. But I got into cheerleading, and I always tell people there was one teacher who really plucked me out of the group. I could type really well. I just can't spell. So if it's in front of me, I can type. Plucked me out of the group, told me that I was really smart and that I needed to go into a special program. So I used to take an hour bus to school, an hour down to Wayne State University, who had a special program for high school, an hour back to high school again to work out with the cheerleaders, became a captain of the cheerleaders, and then went back to home. So it was a long, long day. But again, when you talk to winners, somehow we don't seem to figure out that we're working on that time because that work is fun for us.
Yes.
So I discovered it then. My leadership skills rose out of high school and cheerleading and wanting to win. I was captain.
Let's go.
We went to state champs and, we won. So I fell in love with it. So I always tell people, for some people, winning is addictive. It's something that you feel. People get dopamine different kind of ways. Many people just love winning, and I don't apologize about it. So then I went on to Howard University in Washington, D.C., and then I went to work for Polaroid in Boston, Massachusetts. And then after 2 years of that, I went to Harvard Business School to get my MBA, which was a huge lesson in and of itself. Harvard Business School deserves its reputation as a hard school. And then for someone like myself who did not want to tell them I was dyslexic,
Yeah.
here's something I tell people all the time. It's amazing how we don't want to ask for help, but people love to help. I didn't want to ask for help. I didn't want to show my weaknesses. I didn't want them to know. I didn't want to give them any reasons on a bell curve. But I did reach out to one teacher who said, you're going to flunk this finance class. And it wasn't like I didn't understand it. I just couldn't articulate it because dyslexic and you have written exams. It was just a hot mess. So he worked with me. He helped me. And I finished there. Left Harvard, started selling, which was a very unique career.
Yeah.
So most people don't leave Harvard and go into sales. However, IBM had started a very special program where they wanted some of the Ivy League MBAs to go into their sales organization. So I did. I climbed the ladder, became top in my branch there, and then left there and went into marketing and eventually left there. And right in between there and going back to work for Harvard in admissions, where my heart became very strong because I was admitting students into Harvard Business School. At that same time, I went to my girlfriend's house who lived 2 doors down, and she had a Mary Kay skincare class. And let me just say to everybody, I did not wake up saying, one day I want to teach skincare. I did not wake up and say, one day I want to be an entrepreneur, because I went to Harvard to go into the C-suite. I was very clear about what I wanted to do. So again, life takes paths and turns that you didn't anticipate. And I fell in love with the product. I fell in love with the procedure. Most importantly, for me, not for everybody, but for me, I fell in love with the money. I asked her straight up, how much did you make? And it happened at a time when I was up to my eyeballs in work, up to my eyeballs in family responsibility, had no time to breathe, but I wanted to make some extra money because I was going to go through a divorce. I had already endured 10 years of domestic violence. And it wasn't the story that everybody's familiar with. My mother didn't know, my sisters didn't know, and I had a strong support team. But this optimistic attitude that I've been blessed with also had me in a situation where I'll get over it. He's going to get over it. It's going to get better, blah, blah, blah. Year 1, year 2. I started Harvard Business School, you guys, with a black eye.
Wow.
Okay, this was really big, a big black eye. And that was the first time I really used makeup because I had to hide something, which is very interesting. So anyway, here's where the winning started. I started something that people did not understand. You're going to do what? First, you have a very heavy-duty, high-paying executive job already. Now you're going to take on something else, Gloria, and you have 2 children that are 13 months apart, and they're 1 and 2. You're getting ready to become a single parent. What in the world is going on? Well, I wanted to make some extra money because I did not want my kids' lifestyle to drop. And everybody said, it's going to drop, it's going to drop. I'm like, no, it isn't going to drop. So I took on something extra, and that's when I started winning. Wow. And I can't even teach enough people how important it is to help people become winners versus pointing out their flaws. If you help them learn what's great about them and how they can identify their gifts and use their gifts, it's amazing how you can build such a strong, magnificent team. So I started my Mary Kay business. I earned the use of a car in 5 months. I started breaking records, and I hadn't stopped. I have broken so many records.
Wow.
It's been a gift. So that's my journey. And after 7 years of being single, I go to Florida. I meet my husband, Ken Banks, at Wet n Wild. And it was wet. And it was wild. And we had a long distance relationship. And then we got married. I moved from Boston down here to Baltimore. He is a enormously successful entrepreneur in his own right. Started a construction company. So we really had a chance to build our own individual opposite type of entrepreneurial businesses together with a blended family. And now we have 4 grown adults and 5 grandchildren.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There's so much I want to dive into, so much I want to dissect. I want to highlight one thing that you said, like, it's okay to want to win. And I think sometimes people need that permission. Because in
Right.
society today, there's like, okay, just be average. It's okay to just get by. And we hear so much of that
Yes.
where there are people with a fire inside their belly and they want to win, but they're afraid to articulate or step fully into that
Yes.
because of what society says,
Right.
right? What would
Right.
you say to those people? Like, it's okay to win. It's
Yeah.
okay to want to win.
Right. I love that because it is very prevalent. And the first thing I tell people is, I want you to know it's okay to be alone, to step forward. And I
That's good.
want you to know you have to be alone to step out and step forward, but you won't be alone always. What you're doing is you're leaving the group of people that are okay being okay. And it's okay to be okay. But if you want bigger, if you know God meant for you to have more, if you have something in your fire that takes you there, you have to be okay with creating your own path because
Yeah.
they don't even know how to encourage you to go your own path because they didn't go their own path. So it's really important that there is joy in it because you will start taking others with you once you start going. They don't go with you when you first step out.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know where you're going. They don't understand it. They don't even understand the fire in you.
Yeah.
But it's really important that you don't let anyone dim your light. And here's one piece of advice I want to give people. When people ask you about, you don't have any time with us anymore. You don't go to the movies with us anymore. You don't do it anymore because you're so fired up about what you're doing.
Yeah.
All I want you to do is look at them like this. I don't want you to explain it. I don't want you to articulate back. I don't want you to give them an answer to their question. I just want you to look
Mm-hmm.
because every time you explain your decision to become extraordinary, you strip yourself of self-worth. And it doesn't require any explanation. In your head, I said to myself, if it's not everything it's cracked up to be, I'm out. And I also said, I can always go back. If you're leaving a place of excellence with your excellence and you step into something else, you can always go back. It
Mm-hmm.
may not be the exact same opportunity, but it will always be a better opportunity.
So good. Oh, that was fire. Gems right there. I
Thanks.
want to ask you about the importance of opportunity because I think sometimes as high performers and achievers,
Yeah.
we map out this is what I want, this is my goal, this is my vision, and
Mhm.
we stay the course. We go and we go and we go. And then sometimes, and very often, there's an opportunity that opens up that you
Yes.
have to be able to spot that opportunity and move with it.
Right.
What are your thoughts about keep going the track toward your goals
Mhm.
and or spotting opportunity and going towards it when that door opens up?
Right. Oh my God. I have so many thoughts about that. Okay. So first, I have the saying that people have heard from other people, which is this and this. So many times we grew up in a world of this or this. You can't do both. And in this world, you can do so much more than what other people used to do because you don't have to do it yourself.
So
And
good.
because I teach primarily women, it's very important that they understand there's not an S on their chest that says Superwoman. It's not there. So you don't have to do everything you want. And the path to success starts with a P, and it's called pivot.
Mm.
Every way along the path, you have your goals, you have your plan, you have your people, you have your support. And then something shifts, moves, change. You get one email at 10 a.m. and bam, your whole day is changed because of that, because of the opportunity. So I don't think that if you see a good opportunity, if you don't investigate that, you will be over here working, looking at that opportunity. So nothing gets your full attention.
Wow.
The thing that has to happen is that you have to have people to support you in such a way that if you were to look over here for a minute, this doesn't fall apart. And I think that people really have to understand that success happens with support, not in spite of support.
That's good.
Yeah, the
You gave
opportunities are
give so
there.
much clarity there. I love what you mentioned. Let's talk about your success at Mary Kay.
Okay.
I want to dive into how do you become the number one Mary Kay director in the world? I mean,
Mm,
surpassing everybody. What is that something that's inherent within you, that drive to win? Or are
mm,
there, and I think it is, there's some specific strategies that you implemented as
yeah,
well to
yeah,
get to that level?
yes, yes. I can say it's in me, but I can also say that when I started my business, I did not have a desire to climb at that level. I really had the desire just to make some extra money. I really came in to make an extra $200 a week to keep my kids in daycare. Seriously, they were young, and when I took them to daycare, and I said, okay, so how much for one person? They said this, and I said, well, how much for two? And they said double that. I was like, no discount for two kids. Like, what are you talking about, sister? What are you talking about? So there was no discount. So it was a small dream that grew into a big dream. So the first thing I want to say to people who want to build in that environment of a sales environment, that when you've chosen sales, you've chosen a platform where recognition is important, where encouragement thrives, because you're the type of people that like to win anyway. No
Yeah,
one is in sales if they don't like to win. I
that's
just
true.
can't imagine, right? Even if they didn't start that way, they might have started to have the extra income. They might have started because they like that industry, they like retail, they like whatever they're selling. And I do want to tell everybody, I believe this with all my heart, that everyone's in sales. Everybody's in sales, product sales, vision sales. You're selling experiences, you're selling your services, but you're selling something. So you have to learn that piece of it. So number one, well, number whatever number I'm on, I embraced the career of sales.
Hmm.
I hardly let anyone put their nose up at me because I chose to do sales. I embraced it, and I walk with such pride of the choice that I made that it made other people uncomfortable to question what I was doing because
Mm,
I was so excited and enthusiastic about it. My energy is a gift. I know it is. And so I try to give it as often as possible. But it is also a gift to me that I don't want to see the dark side if I can provide the light.
yeah.
So for me, it was a big. So when you go back to what created success for me, I know how to set targets. I have to speak to this because my children were young. The way my mind worked was I have to invest in my children, and time invested in my children was time away from my business. I
Mm,
have to invest in my business. Time away invested in my business was time away from my children. Therefore, if I'm going to give my business some energy, it better be important.
mm,
And when I give my children investment, it's important. And so the rest of the things that distract a lot of other people did not distract me because those were my two major funnels that I was working at that time.
yeah.
I learned how to win contests. I think that people, this is one of my favorite sayings from Martin Luther King, focus on the stairs and not the staircase. So
Hmm.
many people focus on up there. All you do is make the decision to get up there, but what you have to work on is right here.
Yeah.
People are so focused on, I want it, but what do you have to do right here? Like if you're going to start to brand yourself on social media, what are you going to do right here to decide what you're going to look like when you get on social media? What are people going to think about you when they see on social media? What is it that you have to do differently? It's really important to learn how. And so contest for me taught me how to focus.
Hmm.
It taught me how to strategize. It taught me how, which is huge for me, enroll other people in my vision because it's impossible to build a big, powerful, winning sales team without people going in the same direction.
Yes.
Why do they want to win with you? Not in spite of you and not because of you, but why do they want to win with you? So I had to figure out that recognition was very important. So I had to learn the art of recognition. Talking to people, I had to learn the art of asking questions. The presentation, I had to learn the art of the mic. That's why I'm such a strong keynote speaker, is because I know how to use the mic. I
Yeah.
know how to inspire people. It's something you can learn how to do. I
Hmm.
think that a lot of people get caught up because, well, I don't know how to inspire. Well, everything is learned. Everything you do right now, you had to learn how to do it.
Hmm.
So anything you want to learn, the majority of it, you can learn how to do it. And I say majority because some people don't necessarily have a desire. If you're an introvert, you don't want to learn about being around a ton of people. And if you're an extrovert, you don't want to be by yourself. So it's okay to take whatever is in you and make that work for you. But I think for me to rise in the Mary Kay environment, I had to learn the art of winning one staircase at a time. And I had to, oh, this one is so big. You have to fall in love with competition. And so often nowadays you hear like competition is like an ugly word.
Yes, yes.
It's not collaborating. That's not true.
Yeah.
Competition is a form of collaboration because my best makes your best better.
Yes.
Your best makes my best better. So I fell in love with competition. I fell in love with making people feel comfortable with competing with each other because you have to learn how to compete and celebrate at the same time.
So good. That key about competition, I think, is so underrated.
Yes,
Competition makes everybody better.
right,
That's a fact for
right.
sure.
For sure, it makes everybody better. And once everybody starts talking about and falling in love with it, and they're loud about it. I was always loud about it. And when I got to the number one position, I used to speak all the time, and I used to tell people, you too can be number two. Everybody can be number two. And no one can be number one until I'm finished with this spot.
There we
And
go.
it was a statement to me and was a statement to everyone else, but it was also being a role model. Letting people know it's okay with being super bad all day long. It's just okay.
You mentioned sales,
Uh-huh.
and I want to talk a little bit about, I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of them female as well.
Mhm.
And you kind of hear a negative connotation around the word sales sometimes. Like,
Mhm. Yeah.
women don't want to sell, they can
Mhm.
sometimes be uncomfortable.
Mhm.
What is your philosophy around sales? Because you built an entire, essentially, it's a sales organization and it
Yes.
is powerful.
Yes.
What do you tell women who are afraid to step into sales, afraid to promote themselves?
Yeah.
What is your philosophy around sales?
Okay. This is a great question because it was very heightened when I decided to go international. And I built in 8 international markets. So it was clear to me because I would always have to start in that market and build it, start in that market and build it. So for me, when I would teach women, a lot of people how to sell when they never sold before, is what is the definition of sales? The definition of sales is problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
People misunderstand what a person in sales is doing. Everybody that's purchasing something is doing so for a purpose. What is my purpose in helping you elevate yourself with whatever it is I'm selling, whether it's a house, whether it's clothes, whether it's insurance, whether it's skincare, whether it's hair care products, whether it's an appointment, whether it's a service, whether it's an experience. I am solving an issue for you, number one. Number two, people love to buy. They don't necessarily love to be sold to.
Yeah.
So how do you help somebody purchase? Because let's be clear, people work all day, night times, weekends, in order to increase their income, in order to purchase more.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it that they want to purchase? Number three, I believe for me, my job was to help them purchase something that they might have been too afraid to do alone. And by afraid, it doesn't mean they were fearful. It could mean that they didn't want to take their money over here and put it over here, but they really wanted to. They just didn't know how to navigate it. So my thing is helping people navigate. The other thing is I don't take no's personally, and no's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how long you've been out there. I don't care how strong you are. I don't care how successful you are. You do not like to hear the word no.
Yeah.
However, they don't know you well enough to be saying no to you. They're saying no to whatever you're selling, and they just don't want it. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. I tell people there's a zillion cars out there. Now, if you go on the highway, every couple of cars are going to be white, right? Mm-hmm. Every single successful car company has white cars, but everybody doesn't buy a white car. So that means everybody doesn't want a white car. Does that mean the line of white cars is successful? It absolutely is successful. You just have to find the ones who want what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Another point is I know people want what I have. I just got to find the right people. I get paid a lot of money to find the needle in the haystack, not to get everybody I talk to say yes. My job is not to get people just to say yes. My job is to ask. I can't control your yes or your no.
Mm.
So I think the big thing about sales, if someone has to get comfortable with it, is to understand the philosophy of it and how you can make it your own. Because it's like anything else. Like I don't cook. I used to cook, but I don't cook anymore. I don't know how to cook anymore. I don't want to learn how to cook anymore, blah, 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 blah. But if I did want to do it, I would first understand what is the benefit for me in cooking. Some people cook because they like to eat. Some people cook because it's therapeutic. Some people cook because they like the magic of it, making it come together. Some people cook because they like it as a gift. There's different reasons why people are going to do different things. You have to figure out what it is for what it is that you're doing. But I promise you, this whole conversation about I don't like sales, I don't know how to do sales, forget it.
Yeah.
If you're either an employee or an entrepreneur. Therefore, if you're doing anything on yourself, you're selling. And if you're an employee, it's even more important to learn how to sell because
Mhm.
no one's going to sell you except you. So it's all about sales.
So good. I love the phrase of sales as service. And I think one other thing that you mentioned is as a salesperson, as an entrepreneur, you're bridging the gap for the prospect that's in front of you between
Right.
what it is that you offer and the need, the problem that they have in front of them. And I
Mhm.
think that shift in perspective can really help people align with sales. And as you mentioned, you're selling at every moment. You're selling somebody on a vision. You're selling your team. You're selling your spouse, right? We're
Right.
always in this concept of sales. And I really like the perspective that you gave that can really help people shift and adjust how they look at sales because it's such a critical part in entrepreneurship and business.
It really does make a difference. And that is one of the keys to building a very strong team is helping them understand what they're doing and why what they're doing is influence and impact.
Mm,
Because if not, people who are afraid to sell will spend the majority of their time in their head telling themselves why they don't need to do what they were chosen to do or what they were going to do. And then it becomes fear and they become afraid and then they shut down and then they start looking small and they start chasing small things. And so they spend the majority of their time chasing small things because that's where they're comfortable versus learning how to create an income because they chase big things. And when you chase big things, you have bigger rewards for the same amount of time.
so good. Let's talk about daily practices. One thing that you mentioned is mindset, right?
Mhm.
And like how you approach things, how you look at things. How do you, on a day-to-day, keep your mind in the right place? Are there any strategies that you employ daily? I mean, if
Mhm.
you're on this journey for winning, some
Yeah.
days you don't feel like winning. Some days you don't feel like getting up and doing what you have
Right.
to do, right? So
Right.
what are some practices you have in place to make sure that every day you're making progress toward your goals to win?
Yeah, that's really good. You know, it's so funny because sometimes when you're winning, you put things in place, you put the things in place and you don't feel like doing it because it's just that kind of day. You know what I'm saying? So
We have
I
those
know
days.
that. You know, for me, there's a couple things I think are important. Number one, my prayer and meditation in the morning. I'm one who really is very intentional about taking that time. And it's not easy. It wasn't an easy habit to start, but instead of getting to my phone and there I'm gone, I'm going to spend an hour meditating in prayer. And that's a big part of it, number one. Number two, I think signs around your house. I think that sounds so crazy, but when you are very focused on a target, when you put those signs around your house, you are dealing with your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind manages the majority of your daily decisions. People they think I'm crazy, but my weight's up there. If I have a weight goal, my target's up there. I want it to be seen by me and people who are around me. The third piece of advice is, and I still do this a lot every day, is I manage who's in my space and who's talking to me and what they're saying to me.
Mm,
Like I can't even take complaints anymore because number one, I know that complaining means you're not being grateful. So when I'm talking to people, and they really do get it, like, okay, I can't complain anymore. And I used to be somebody like that, but I'm not that way anymore. And then we talked earlier, I had just come back from a month in Africa, and we put up a water system for a village which used to walk over an hour every day to get water. So once you see that for yourself, not on TV or whatever, but once you see it, feel it, understand yourself, that it doesn't take a lot to do a lot. It doesn't take much to make a big difference. But there's people who are, they just have so many more big disadvantages that we do. And then we're spending time complaining. So you cannot build winners out of people who choose to complain or gossip or put people down. You just
Yes.
cannot. So I manage the people that feed into me. I manage my circle of influence, and I manage the way people treat me. I always tell people, teach people how to treat you. You won't get overwhelmed with how they choose to treat you. But to me, the only other thing I would add to that is study my craft. I spend time studying my craft. Even like I was putting on my makeup to get ready for this, I'm listening to something on Audible. I'm listening to something on YouTube. I'm improving what's going on in here so I can get better at it. My husband's like, Gloria, is that YouTube again? Yes, it is. I attend YouTube University all the time to increase my skills in something.
So I hear common themes. I mean, from high performers, they have a routine for either meditation, prayer, something to get the mind calm and connect, right? Spiritually, I believe in God too. I'm a Christian.
Right.
So that piece for me is prayer is so important.
Right.
So I noticed that as a theme of high performers. The second thing you mentioned is people you surround yourself with, right? Your environment, who's speaking into you, because essentially your environment shapes the person you're becoming, right? And as Gloria mentioned, if you constantly have negativity or gossip, that's moving you out of alignment with where you're headed and your goals. And it actually takes mental bandwidth to deal with people that are negative, and it's actually shifting your perspective from where you actually should be going. And then I love the third thing that you mentioned, which is continuous learning and sharpening your craft. And that's a theme among high performers. You never reach a point where you're like, I've arrived, I know it all, I'm good. You're constantly pursuing growth, and that's amazing.
It really does make a difference. And I tell people your environment shifts you and shifts your future. So you can't do anything about the past. You really can't do anything about the future because you're not in the future. You can only manage what you're handling right now. Your best future is handled right now. So how you do that, staying aware is really important.
Absolutely. What are your thoughts on work-life balance? Do you believe that you can achieve that? Do you feel like that is even a thing? What are your thoughts on that? How do you have it all?
I roll my eyes like that because I have some thoughts on it, and people talk about it a lot. Work-life balance. I don't know if it's balance. I think it's harmony. It's what makes you happy. And I think that on the road to big success, there's ebbs and flow of joy and overwhelming feelings. So there's times when you're like, oh my gosh, it's just too much. Da, 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 da. But if you're still focused on that target, you will get strategically focused, and a target dissipates distraction. I think that you have to understand how you work. I'm the kind of person, I love to work and then vacation. I love travel. And so I love the movies. So I know where I get my breaks, but breaks every day is not what I need, but it might be somebody else. I remember talking to my girlfriend who loves to take a bath for like an hour or an hour and a half every night. I'm like, what? How can you lay in the bed? I mean, in the bathtub for that long, but that's what she does. And she's incredibly successful, but that's her situation for her. Work-life balance, kids, school. There's times in our lives that are different. I tell people when you're in your 20s, you're discovering yourself. When you're 30s, you're really breaking into new things and making the right choices for you to go forward. When you're in your 40s, you're in your grind. Like you are grinding your house, your family, your kids. There's a lot of grinding going on there. In the 50s, you're now a little bit more settled, and you have the experiences and the wisdom that you didn't have when you're in your 20s. When you're 60s, your theme is, I'm not done yet. Don't even try it. Like, don't even try it. And people who are tired, it's because they're hanging around tired people. Don't hang around tired people if you don't want to be tired. If you don't want to seem like you're going down, you seem like you always want to go up. It's who you hang around and what you do to create that balance that works for you. You have to know that work balance also, to me, it's faith, it's finances, it's family, and it's fitness. If you don't take care of your body's not going to take care of you. Those areas for me, I don't know if I'd call it work-life balance. That's what people talk, but it's a catchphrase. It can mean anything to anybody. But where I am now in my life, in terms of my work and fun, is very different than where it was 20 years ago. And if I went back 20 years ago, there's not a lot that I would change. I loved it then and I love it now.
The work-life harmony, I think, sums that up really well. Work-life synergy. Sometimes you mentioned there's seasons, right? Sometimes it is grind, 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 and you have to grind and your rest is very short. And then there's time, but you mentioned that vacation where you can take longer times for recovery. But it works in harmony. So I love that word. And then the ultimate goal is that you are, one, I think, enjoying the life that you live and also pushing towards getting to your goals.
Right. Exactly. It really does make a difference. It really, I think it's just an individual thing. And unfortunately, some people try to put their definition of work-life balance on somebody else. And that's not fair.
Yes, absolutely. I want to talk about challenges.
Okay.
What is one challenge that comes to mind for you on the journey towards succeeding in life and business? We have ups and downs. We have our struggles.
Right.
What is one challenge that comes to mind for you and how did you overcome it?
I think a big challenge that I had to overcome was when you lose a race that you're on and you lose it really big, like loud. And it's sort of hard to manage without emotional management. So when you win big, you also lose big. People see you fall. People see you miss. People see you regroup. People see you question yourself. People see these things, and there's not a successful person that doesn't go through those arenas. So for me, I missed a really big goal. It was very obvious to everybody, but the way in which I handled it, I think makes a team stronger. If you lose and you're going to woe is me and oh my God, and start blaming people and all that kind of stuff and start looking for places to explain the fact that you lost, it's a problem. But if you walk in there and say, I got it, I know, okay, what are we going to do next? How are we going to come back from this? Where are we going to step? How am I going to look? Am I going to look strong? You know, the way in which you operate with your people and learn how to celebrate those who did well and learn how to not blame those who did not do well is really important because they feel safe to continue to come to you.
Yeah.
And I think that's, I've had a lot of life challenges. And I really think that it's another buzzword we hear a lot now, which is mindset, but it really is how you choose to handle it.
Yes, absolutely. How you choose to handle the situation and the perspective that you take. You talk a lot about leadership.
Yes.
You give a lot of keys around leadership, how you envision with your team, how you strategize with your team.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, Gloria, how do you pick the people that you surround yourself with? What are some things that you look for when building a team?
Yes. Okay. That's a really great question because I am very specific about it, but I'm also flexible because I know I don't know everything. And I also know that what I think I see in a person isn't necessarily who that person is after you've been with them for a minute.
That's right.
So for me, energy matters. The type of energy they bring. If they're bringing a very negative, slow, slothful, lackluster, they're going to take everything I have and dumb it down. So I just can't operate in that environment. People that I hire, people that work with me, I really do look at their energy. The next thing I look for is ambition. I think that you need to be an ambitious person to be in my space. Everybody's not ambitious, and I'm super good with that. But if you're going to work with me or for me or besides me, it's got to be with an ambitious person. That's who I look towards. That's who I learn from. It's ambitious people. That's who I'm attracted to. It's ambitious people. The third thing I'm looking for is a diversity of experiences. I'm not looking for the one track person who just did this well. I need you to have done well here, well done here, not done well in everything. But if I'm going to surround myself with people who are better than I am at certain things, which is what you want to do, I'm so proud of some of the women that have worked for me as my assistants because they've gone on to go to amazing schools and have improved themselves. So to me, if people are going to be in your space, be on your team, you need to learn from them because of what they can do, and they need to learn from you. And if you don't have influence and impact over the team, like by the way that you live or the way that you've come back from struggle, it matters. Back when I was in the midst of domestic violence, and I used to ask myself, why me? Like, why am I getting this? Why is it coming at me so hard? Like, what did I do? Well, it was years later, I found out, as far as I'm concerned, so I could handle other women's situations. So I could be strong for other people. So when people call me and frustrated, and ambitious people who don't win do call frustrated, and they're crying sometimes in tears, and it's not fake little tears. It's like, I don't understand. And when they're that frustrated, because frustration is misplaced expectation, I always tell them, it doesn't bother me that you cry. That has got nothing to do with whether I think you're strong or not. To me, that's just God's way of letting you release something you obviously need to release. I'm here to talk, tell me what's happening. And so my ability to push through my challenges or other people's challenges that they bring me, it was brought on by my wisdom that was gained from my experiences.
Yeah, you've used your challenges to make yourself a better leader.
Yeah.
And that's how you can show up and serve your team at the level that you do. Gloria, what does winning mean to you? The Takeover is all about how to win in all areas of life and business.
Yeah.
What does winning mean to you?
Okay, for me, it takes courage to build confidence. And confidence gives you choices. So for me, winning is all about showing up in a courageous fashion. It's getting out of the comfort zone because there's nothing comfortable in the comfort zone. It is stepping out even when you don't feel like it. It is understanding what motivation is, because motivation creates the steps and discipline is required to win. So you got to be motivated. You have to understand the power of passion, because so many of us work without the passion because we haven't stopped to find the passionate place. So when you're passionate, you become a winner. And when you win, you like to dominate. You really do like to dominate, because that domination becomes a role model for other people. I don't think people like to win in a vacuum.
That's right.
They might want to influence 3 people. They might want to influence 300 people. They might want to influence 3 million people, but they want to influence. And so to me, winning allows people an opportunity to show what's possible for someone else. I love to win, and I love to cause other people to win.
Incredible. Oh my gosh, I'm so inspired. Today's conversation was absolutely phenomenal. You have so much wisdom to share, Gloria, not only just on winning, which you've done exceptionally well, but also on life and on perspective and on sales. And this was such a fulfilling conversation for me, and I received so much from you, and I know our listeners did too. So how can people find you? How can they get in contact with you, work with you? Tell us all the good stuff.
Well, I'm so excited. Because there's stuff that's kicking off right now that people are absolutely loving. We're at this time of the year where we start to evaluate. I think every day we evaluate as we go forward. So the brand that I'm really excited about is Super Bad All Day. Super Bad All Day. It's for Women mostly who really understand the value of $100,000 a year to $300,000 a year to $500,000 a year. It's amazing that 92% of women out here working make less than $100,000 a year. 92%. And it's not because they can't, it's just they don't know how. And so if they went to superbadallday.com, they're going to see what I've got for them. I have role models in front of them. I interview women all the time that have crossed over, but I also give them really solid tips on solopreneur to entrepreneur and entrepreneurs who really operate within a corporation, but they have their own ideas. They have their own course of action and they want to do something big. They want to win as well. And so I'm super interested in working with those people. They can always find me at GloriaMayfieldBanks.com, but I want to see you on my Instagram. I want to see you on my Facebook. I want to connect with you. Why? Because I love girlfriends. I love girlfriends because as we go forward, I'm mostly interested in women that do this. Turn around and take somebody and bring them to the table. Don't just get to the table, but turn around and make sure you take someone else to the table. When God told me on April 15th, a couple of years ago, he said, Gloria, your purpose is to take people from ordinary to extraordinary. And he's proven that I have a gift to do that. So I'd love for them to find me at superbadallday.com.
You heard it here first, ladies and gents, superbadallday.com, and it's at Gloria Mayfield Banks on Instagram and Facebook.
Yes, they can find me.
Incredible. Gloria, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us. Today's conversation was amazing, and I'm so fulfilled. And again, I know that our listeners had a lot of takeaways from this episode as well.
Well, I have to say, you're excellent. You are excellent. And I love what you're doing for your community. Honestly, it's a big deal to give people the space, the desire, and the encouragement to win and to win big. So thank you as well.
Ladies and gents, thanks so much again for joining for another episode of The Takeover. Make sure that you are following the show so you never miss an episode, whether it's on audio, on YouTube. Make sure that you follow Gloria as well. She's phenomenal and doing amazing work. And we'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.